moving on to our story time again. And again, just to emphasize the motivational interviewing, we're moving from ambivalence to change. Now, ambivalence means like, I'm not sure if I like this or not. On the one hand, I like this. On the other hand, I like that. So you're helping people move from, I'm not sure where I want to go, to an emotional place of, I feel good about moving in this direction. But you're helping them explore that, okay? So open-ended questions, affirmations, reflections, and summary. So open-ended questions start with a how or a what, typically. And they elicit a non-yes or no answer, an expansive answer that will help the person explore what they're thinking about, okay? And remember, you're trying to get them to change, so you're helping them explore their options in these stories. So let's introduce our story. It's between Jill and Thomas, who are in the medical field, and they're going to have a discussion. So let's dive into this story.
Jill was a leader in a medical facility.
Thomas, a diligent worker, was struggling with a procedure that involved using X-rays. The procedure was potentially harmful due to radiation exposure, and it was also costly. Thomas knew that a new 3D ultrasound could possibly do it for less and with less radiation. However, Thomas had fears that the other staff would give him negative feedback if he suggested changing the procedure.
Instead of telling Thomas what to do, Jill decided to use motivational interviewing. She started by asking Thomas open-ended questions about the procedure and his concerns. She listened empathetically, reflecting back his concerns about radiation, cost, and potential backlash from colleagues. Next, Jill helped Thomas envision a better future. She asked, how would things look if we could reduce both the cost and radiation exposure? Thomas shared his ideas, and Jill listened, encouraging him to explore these further. Then Jill asked Thomas about his ambivalence. She asked, what do you think is holding you back from suggesting the use of 3D ultrasound?
Thomas shared his fears about negative feedback.
Jill acknowledged his fears, validating his feelings, but also gently challenging his assumptions. Finally, Jill encouraged Thomas to make a plan. She asked, what's one small step you could take towards this change?
Thomas thought for a moment, then shared a simple but effective idea to present the benefits of 3D ultrasound to his colleagues.
Jill affirmed his plan and offered her support.
In the weeks that followed, Thomas implemented his plan. He presented his findings to his colleagues, addressing their concerns and highlighting the benefits of 3D ultrasound. The procedure improved, radiation exposure reduced, and costs were cut.
All because Jill chose to guide rather than dictate, to listen rather than tell.
So I could hope you could see some of the open-ended questions, the affirmations and the reflections. Reflections are kind of neat. They're just sort of like, so you said this? And then that elicits somebody's response to dive deeper into that. So those are the tools that you can use to have good emotional questioning, good emotional discussions within your team.